So, you've seen those incredible dogs on TV, prancing around the ring looking absolutely perfect, and you've probably thought, how in the world do they do that? Well, today, we're going to pull back the curtain and show you exactly what it takes to get started. Think of this as your very first roadmap into the amazing world of dog shows. And you know, this quote from Susan Hamill just hits the nail on the head, doesn't it? It really gets to the heart of it all. Behind every single one of those flawless-looking show dogs is a whole journey of hard work and preparation. They make it look so easy, but that's the whole point. It's all about that dedicated, consistent effort, and that's exactly what we're going to unpack today.
All right, so first things first, before you even think about leashes or grooming tables, there's a really important foundational question you've got to ask yourself.
I mean, look, let's be real. To us, our dogs are the biggest stars in the universe, right? They're our best friends, part of the family. But the show ring? Yeah, that's a whole different ballgame. It has a very, very specific set of rules and requirements.
And here's the pro secret. The thing any good mentor will tell you right off the bat. Not every dog is cut out to be a show dog. And that's okay. See, the whole point of a dog show, at its core, is to evaluate potential breeding stock. It's all about judging how well a dog matches the official blueprint for its breed.
And that big word you're going to hear a lot is conformation. So what does that actually mean? Well, it's not really about picking the cutest dog. It's about judging each dog against this official written guide, the breed standard. Think of it like a blueprint. And that blueprint covers everything. Not just how they look or how they move, but also their temperament, which is just as important.
Okay, so let's say you've done your homework and you think, you know what, my dog really might have what it takes. So what's the next step? Well, here's a big one. You can't do this alone. It's time to find your team.
The dog show world can seem kind of intimidating from the outside, I get it, but there are actually a ton of ways to get connected. Your absolute best first stop, the breeder you got your dog from. If that's not an option, no worries. Check out your breed's National Parent Club, look up local kennel clubs. There's even an official AKC exhibitor mentoring program. These are all set up specifically to help newcomers like you find someone who's been there and done that. And here's a little pro tip on show etiquette. If you decide to go to a show to meet people, timing is everything. You do not want to approach a handler right before they go into the ring. They're in the zone, totally focused, like an athlete before a big game. Just wait for a lull, be polite, and ask, hey, is now a good time to chat for a minute? Trust me, they'll really appreciate it. All right, you've got your guide, you've got your potential star. Now it's time to roll up our sleeves and get into the nitty-gritty, the actual training. Really, it all comes down to 3 main skills your dog needs to nail for the show ring. Now, they might sound simple, but making them look effortless and confident, that's where the real work, the patience, and the fun, positive training comes in. So number 1 is something called gaiting. And no, this is not just your average walk in the park. This is a very specific, controlled trot on a loose leash. The whole point is to show off your dog's movement so the judge can really see how their body's put together, how they reach, how they drive from behind, their overall balance and flow. And the best way to teach this? Make it a game. Seriously. Start without a leash. Just use some tasty treats in your left hand and reward your dog just for trotting along with you. Now, here's a key detail. When you give that treat, make sure their head is facing forward. That encourages that beautiful, alert posture. Once they've got that down, you can add the show leash. Just remember, keep your training sessions short, fun, and super positive. Okay, next up is that classic picture-perfect show dog pose, the stack. This is where the dog stands perfectly still for the judge to look at their structure. And what's really interesting is that there are a couple of ways to do this. There's hand stacking, where you literally place their feet where you want them, and then there's free stacking, where the dog learns to strike the pose all on their own. So if you're going to teach the hand stack, the trick is to make it a really pleasant, rewarding experience. You want to use a high-value treat, something they can kind of nibble on for a bit, like a piece of chicken. While they're focused on that in your right hand, you gently use your left hand to position them. Start with the front legs, moving them from the elbow, then the back legs, moving from the hock. It's super important not to just grab their feet. Then you just teach them to hold it for just a few seconds at first and build from there. And the third core skill is being ready for the judge's examination. This is where the judge will actually put their hands all over the dog. They're feeling for bone structure, muscle, checking their teeth, the whole shebang. And your dog's one job? It's to just stand there, calm and confident, and be totally okay with it. So how do you get them ready for that? Well, you make it totally normal. Make it part of your everyday routine. Gently handle their whole body. Look at their teeth. Touch their gums. For male dogs, yes, they do need to be comfortable having their testicles checked. Once your dog is cool with you doing it, have some friends, people they trust, gently and respectfully do a practice exam. That gets them used to the idea of a stranger doing it in the ring.
So, the training's coming along. Awesome. But creating that champion look goes way beyond just training. It's about their entire physical condition. Honestly, it's less of a task and more of a lifestyle.
Yeah, that best in show look is truly built from the inside out. We're talking about top-tier exercise tailored to your breed's needs. Maybe that's swimming or running. It's about really digging into nutrition, because the right food makes a huge difference in their coat, their skin, their energy, everything. Of course, perfect dental hygiene is a must, and you absolutely have to become an expert in your breed's specific grooming needs. It's non-negotiable.
And this quote from Lindsay Dicken, I mean, it just says everything, doesn't it? The goal is for grooming not to be a chore or a fight. Can you imagine your dog actually jumping up on the grooming table, waiting for their turn? When you make it a positive and consistent thing, it absolutely becomes this amazing, relaxing time for both of you.
Okay, you've done the work. The training is solid, your dog is in amazing shape, they look incredible. So what's left? It's time for the really exciting part, stepping into that ring for the very first time.
Now listen, this might be the most important piece of advice in this whole explainer. For your first show, you have to set realistic goals. Here's the truth. On any given day at a dog show, most dogs don't win. It's just math. So don't focus on that ribbon. Instead, make your goal something like, I want to learn one new thing today, or I want to nail our gating pattern. That is a real win.
You know, you hear this said all the time at dog shows, and it might sound like a cliche, but it is 100% true. No matter what the judge thinks, no matter who gets that big purple ribbon, at the end of the day, the very best dog is always the one you get to take home.
Let's face it, in your dog's eyes, they've already won Best in Show every single day, just by being with you. So the only real question is, could this be the start of a brand new, amazing adventure for the two of you? Is your journey together just beginning?